at Natural is Not a Fad with Dr. Phoenyx Austin. How are you doing today?
I'm very good, ma'am. Thank you.
Fantastic. She gave a wonderful presentation earlier today, and I wanted to get a little bit more in depth with her on some of the topics you talked about. One of the things you said was that you're a really big advocate of Ayurvedic medicine and Ayurvedic regimens for hair. And you said that everybody can incorporate some Ayurveda into their lives. So I wanted to hear how it can be done.
Okay, well, you've got basically the oils and the herbs. Now, you can do infusions. Like some people make teas out of the herbs, and then they just infuse that into their shampoo or their conditioner, like literally pour it into the shampoo and conditioner. That's one way that you can do it. The oils, I mean, it can be as simple as, let's say you shampoo, condition, moisturize daily. Use an Ayurvedic oil instead of a regular oil. So some Ayurvedic oils that you can use are amla, Brahmi, different oils like that. I mean, it's really as complex as you want to make it. Some women do the henna thing. That's a part of Ayurvedic medicine. So the henna, cassia, indigo, I mean, it's limitless. You can go all out. Ayurvedic hair care, which can be a bit time consuming because you've got to find the products and mix the products. That's the thing with Ayurvedic hair care. Sometimes you have to mix things. It's really as simple or as complex as you want to make it.
That's great. And what do you do for your own regimen right now?
I really like to switch things up. I don't like to stay with one thing because my hair does change and does get acclimated to certain products depending on the seasons. So I always try to incorporate something Ayurvedic, and I talk about that in my book. But I mean, some seasons I may use shampoo, some I may not. I know around the wintertime I don't touch shampoo at all because it's just drier. I will say one big thing that I always tell women is get an excellent conditioner. Like you need a really thick conditioner that's going to give you a lot of slip, that's got a little bit of protein. You have to go with a lot, but just a little bit of protein for reconstructing. And then daily, moisturize. Like I am constantly moisturizing my hair. Morning, I steam in the shower because I like hot showers. So that's my moisture. After I carry a little spray bottle, I got it in my bag, and I moisturize in the afternoon or in the evening. Like that's the biggest thing with our hairs. It's just natural. It's naturally drier and more fragile than other hair types. So you really have to keep it moist. It's almost like, a strand of rope. As time goes on, the rope gets, more brittle, drier. But if you wet it, it becomes pliable. It becomes bendable. It's the same concept with our hair. So those are two big things that I really stay on is conditioning and moisturizing my hair.
Wholly agree with that. Another thing that you talked about was hair loss and the prevalence of traction alopecia and different types of alopecia that we see in the African American community. And I know a lot of women write to me on my blog talking about how they have thinning edges. So is that reversible? And if so, how?
It depends on the extent of damage, honestly. And that's why I was saying with women who have traction alopecia, regardless of how long they've noticed it, you need to get into a physician immediately so they can assess how extensive it is. Because, the early intermediate stages, yes, it can be reversed. But if it's late stage, probably not. I mean, the only thing that'll probably work for you is hair transplant therapy. And that takes a lot of money and time and patience because it's not an immediate growth. You actually have to wait, and you have to really change up your entire hair regimen because now you've got these kind of infantile hair follicles that you have to be very, very delicate with because they're taking them from other parts of your body and transplanting them. So, it's not as simple as, okay, now I've got these new follicles here. I can keep doing everything I was doing before. No. Now you've got to really, really change it up. So it really depends on how extensive the alopecia or how severe it is. I can't speak to that and say every single time, if you stop doing what you're doing, your hair will come back. You really have to be assessed first by a hair specialist to tell.
Got it. Well, thank you for that. How can people find you and keep in touch?
They can find me on drphoenyx.com, so drphoenyx.com. You can find me on Facebook, facebook.com/drphoenyx, or Twitter, dr_Phoenyx.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you.